Hello, hello guys. I hope you are all well. After a long time we are meeting. I was little bit busy. I was unwell for a while, and then busy for a while. Then got a time today, okay, to meet you all. So in the previous classes, we have discussed until exercise 2.3. So today in this class, okay, in this lecture, we are going to discuss 2.4. And before going exercise 2.4, we have to learn some of the things. So earlier we have discussed about the plotting of complex number in an argon plane. Okay, which is similar that we have learned that complex number can be plotted like a coordinate axis. Right, can be plotted on coordinate axis, coordinate plane, and that coordinate plane is called your argon plane. Now, okay, for plotting the complex number, there is also another method, okay, and that system is called your polar coordinates, or okay, that system is called your polar coordinates, which is in the form of r and theta. This r is your, this tells the position. That means the distance, okay, position distance. I think it is the distance between 2 points, and this is theta is the angle, how much angle it has shifted from the reference point. So why this system is called polar coordinates? You have seen globes, right? And then we have got latitudes and longitudes. Yes, we have got latitudes and longitudes. Now if you see from the pole, from the perspective of the pole, say this is the point, and we have got one prime meridian, this is your 0 degree. Now from this point, from the pole to this portion, okay, from the pole to this portion, what is the distance? That is your distance, that is your r. And from the reference point, okay, that means the reference angle, we can say 0 0, there will be 1 0 0, the prime meridian is your 0 0, right? And then from this line, it has made an angle this much. So if you know these two things, how much position from the pole and how much angle it has made with the reference angle, then you can tell the exact position. So in polar coordinates, we have got the r, distance between 2 points, and the angle. So you see, here we are going to discuss about the representation of a complex number. Okay, how do we represent the complex number in this form, r and theta form? R and theta form. So this is called polar coordinates. We have got some more coordinates, like cylindrical coordinates. Okay, one is cylindrical, then another is, I think, spherical. So apart from polar, we have got another cylindrical, when the shape is like a cylinder. Okay, we say cylindrical coordinates. In higher classes, you will be learning about this. Okay, you should know. Then we have got spherical coordinates. Spherical coordinates is our latitude and longitude on a sphere. Our earth is a sphere, 3D shape, right? Then this is also another polar coordinates. Then we have got Cartesian, the Cartesian coordinate system. We have got the Cartesian. Okay, okay. So let's represent a complex number in this form, r and theta. Okay. So our complex number is what? Z equal x plus iy. Now you remember coordinate system. Okay. In class 9 we have learned in general maths, right? Distance between 2 points. So this is the origin 0 0, and this is some point P. This is x, right? Now x and y you need to learn. So this is 0 0, and this is something like it has gone a distance x and it has gone y. So the how are the coordinates? One is 0 0, another is xy, the ordered pair. Now distance between 2 points is what? This minus this, x1 minus x2, x2 minus x1, yes, plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now this is all 0 0, so x minus 0 is what? X. Y minus 0 is what? Y. So we get this one, x square minus y square. The distance between 2 points, okay, OP, and this is nothing but your x square plus y root over x square plus y square, and this is nothing but the modulus of z. So this is the distance between 2 points. So here we says that if you should write in your copy, okay, from here, if z equal to x plus iy, okay, be a complex number, then it is expressed by the ordered pair x comma y, which is represented by the point pz, this one, in the organ plane, okay, as shown in the figure we can say. Then we say that pm perpendicular ox. So pm perpendicular ox. So now OM will be your x, and then PM will be your y. So now distance between 2 points, OP or PO, okay, will be your this one, modulus of z. You write this one, okay, then you write modulus of z. So this modulus of z, okay, this is nothing but your r. R is the distance between 2 points, and this angle, how much it has made, POM. This is your theta. Clear up to this much? So, so this r and theta, okay, these are called your polar coordinates of the point P. Now here O is the initial point, okay. O is the initial point of the directed by the line segment OP, on which R is creases from O to P. From O it goes up to P, it goes increasing from O to P. So the positive direction of x-axis, okay, is the initial line. So this is the reference angle line. So this is your initial line. O is called the pole. This one is called the pole, the origin. And theta is the angle made by the line OP. कहाँ है OP? OP. तो ये O यहाँ से कितना तक गया है? थीटा तक गया है, right? By the line OP with the positive part of x-axis. Now, okay, see, this became a triangle. We don't know OP is how much. Yes. And again, we don't know this angle theta also. Right. How much angle it has made. Then, now here will come our trigonometry. So this is one of the utility of trigonometry. In a triangle, okay, if you don't know the sides, then through trigonometry, you can find out. So trigonometry is basically, it is a relation between the angle and the sides of a triangle. So this is our triangle. They, in this case, let's say this is our, now if it's a right angle triangle, it should be right angle triangle, okay, to apply the trigonometry. So this is the perpendicular, this is the base, this is the hypotenuse, and with this one it has made some angle, right? Some angle theta. Now if you want to find x, here x, this is the base, right? This is x and this is y. If you want to know b, right, then through trigonometry, some formulas, trigonometry ratios are there. So we have got sine theta, all right, cos theta, tan theta, and we have got their inverses. Okay, sine, inverse of sine is what? Sine cos tan, right? So first we will write down their ratios. S is sine theta is perpendicular by hypotenuse. Cos is your base by hypotenuse, and then your tan theta is your perpendicular and base. Then inverse of tan is your cot theta, so it will be b and p, b by p, its inverse. Okay, then inverse of cos is your sec theta, inverse will be your h by p, hypotenuse by perpendicular. Base, hypotenuse by base, okay, it will be the inverse, and then your sine is your cosec, it will be hypotenuse by perpendicular. So these are the some of the trigonometric ratios. Now we will apply this one, okay, how to find our b, our x. Let's say this is x and this is our y. So if you need to find x, तो कौन सा फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे हम लोग? Theta is there, so if we say sine theta, right, if we apply sine theta there, what will we get? Sine theta will be perpendicular by hypotenuse, perpendicular by hypotenuse. ये हो गया तुम्हारा O and this is our P, है ना? Then sine theta is your perpendicular is your y by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is h. In that case, this is our position, right? Distance, this is our r, so it will be y by r. देखा? Then if we find out cos theta, it is base by hypotenuse. Base क्या है? x, और hypotenuse क्या है? This is your r. Now if you want to find x, तो यहाँ से मिल जाएगा हमको, x is nothing but r cos theta, and this is nothing but, if you want to find y, then it will be r sin theta. So our argon plane, which is in the form of x comma y, our coordinates, our complex number is in this ordered pair, right? X comma y. So this can be now written like what? R, x is what? Cos theta, and r sin theta. Now this is our in the form of polar coordinates. तो यही बात in this section, okay, it has been discussed. So now if you apply cos theta, then we will get x by r. If we apply sine theta, we will get y by r. Now x will be your, okay, r cos theta, and y will be your r sine theta. So our complex number is nothing but your x plus iy. Now you put this one in there, then we will get z will be z equal to uh, x is r cos theta plus ir sine theta. Now both sides we have r, so take the common r, then we get cos theta plus I sine theta. Now this representation of a complex number in this form is called the trigonometric form. Okay, this is the trigonometric form or polar form of a complex number. So never confuse. Okay, it is also called trigonometric as well as polar form. So here theta is called the argument or amplitude of jet. So this angle is given the name argument. Okay, so in the next section we will get arg. So that is nothing but the argument or the angle. So it is denoted by this one, argument of jet or amplitude of the complex jet. So the method for finding the amplitude of a complex number is discussed in next section. So if this is, then these are complex number, okay, then a complex number is this. So I think you understood, okay, how to represent a complex number in the polar form. We need to convert x and y into the form r and theta. Okay, so here we have got theta also, and we have got r also, and that is why it is called the polar form of a complex number. Earlier in complex plane, in argon plane, okay, we have got only x comma y, right? We have got x comma y, but now we have got r cos theta and r sin theta. Okay. So we will discuss now how to find the argument of a complex number, okay, and its properties. So what is argument? Argument is the angle, okay, met by the position, the how much distance. So the angle theta is formed by the line OP, okay, with OX, where PZ is the point which represents the complex number z equal to. So theta is called the argument of complex z and is denoted by ARG or AMPZ. So the theta, okay, is called the argument. So you have already learned that OP is R. Then from the figure we have discussed, OM is Z, X, PM is Y. Then the tan theta, okay, will be your Y by X. We have got the value of Y and X. So using this formula, okay, from 10 we will be able to find out the value of theta. So for the complex number z equal to x plus iy, the position is how much? Toward x square plus y square, and then argument of z is denoted by theta. So tan theta is y by x. ये y by x कहाँ से आया? यहाँ देखो. If you find out tan theta, p by b, p b, p is what? Your y, b is what? Your x, perpendicular by base. This y is your perpendicular, this x is your base. So from there we have got x, y, and the theta relation between that. Okay, so we can say that argument of z theta, okay, that argument of z equal to theta, where theta satisfies both the equation x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. Now some note is there, okay. argument of z is theta. Okay, now you need to, in order to find the value of theta, okay, argument, you should know the value of the trigonometric tangent. Okay, tan 0 degrees how much? Okay, 1 is there, right? 1 and 0, then infinity. So tan 1 will, if the value of here will be 1, then it will be tan 45 degree. Then you will be able to find out that value of theta. If it is 0, then it is 90, right? I think 0, then if it is 0, then it is 0 degree. If it is infinity, then it is 90 degree, right? Then if it is 30 degree, then root 3 or 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3, I think. And if it is 60 degree, then root 3. So those formula you need to remember. Those values, okay? So क्या आएगा अभी? Theta rx equal to r cos theta. So all these values of theta, which satisfy the polar form, are called general values of theta. So these are discussed in detail in plane trigonometry. Here we are concerned about the principal value of theta only. So the value of theta, which is numerically smallest among the general value, is called the principal value. ये याद रखना. The value of theta, okay, general value में से सबसे छोटा, okay, numerically smallest among the general value is called the principal value. So for principal values, we can take the following value of theta, where theta is between 0 and 2 pi. So 1 pi is how much? 180 degree. So 2 pi is how much? 360 degree. Or minus pi to pi. X is between minus pi and pi. Minus 180 degree and 180 degree. But in our discussion, we shall consider the interval this one. Minus pi, between minus pi and pi only. We will not move to 360 degree, 270 degree, 360 degree. We will move only, we will search the value of theta only between minus 180 and 180, or minus pi and pi. So for the value, therefore the value of theta, where theta is between minus pi, or it is greater than minus pi and less than equal to pi, okay, we satisfy, and they also so satisfy this one, x equal to r cos theta and y equal to sine theta, or tan theta is x by y. Then this will be called our principal value of the argument of z. If it is between minus pi and pi, positive pi, okay, or simply principal argument of z. So here, as we mentioned, argument of z, or क्या है, amplitude of z, if we say, then it is understood that the principal value is in this interval, okay, minus pi and pi, minus 180 and positive 180. तो आइए देखते हैं how is that. So this is our a, the point on the positive part of the real axis along OX, okay, then its amplitude is pi or 1, amplitude is 0 degree. तो यहाँ पे होगा on the axis, okay, on the positive side, then it will be 0 degree. अगर ये नेगेटिव चला गया, okay, if it lies on the negative part of the real axis OX dash, ये हो गया तुम्हारा OX dash, then its amplitude, okay, is either 180 degree, pi, or it is 180 degree or pi. यहाँ से यहाँ तक आया है ना, it is not 1 minus 180 degree. If it lies on the positive part of the imaginary axis y, that means, okay, this is the imaginary axis, y is the imaginary, x is the real. On the imaginary axis, positive side, the upside, दे ये है तुम्हारा c, तो यहाँ से कैलकुलेट करके यहाँ तक आया, okay, then its amplitude is pi by 2 or 90 degree. And if it lies huh, on the negative part, d, okay, then it will be your minus pi by 2. इसका negative, so it will be minus 90 degree. लेकिन ये वाला minus 180 नहीं होगा, ठीक है. So this is तो ये भी देख लो. From here, okay, the positive part on the negative of x है ना, फिर इधर से आया, then फिर it lies here. So if the position is on the first quadrant, okay, then the value of theta, ठीक है, it will be between 0 and 90 degree. So last year we have discussed, right? 1, 2, third, fourth. So if lies in the first quadrant, then its value is between 0 and 90. If it lies on the second quadrant, its value is between 90 and 180, pi by 2 and pi. If it is in third quadrant, तो ये हो गया तुम्हारा थर्ड क्वाड्रेंट है ना, तो माइनस पाई से लेके माइनस 90, ठीक है. एंड इफ इज ऑन द फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट, तो ये यहाँ से शुरू होगा माइनस 90 to 0, ठीक है. So this is also important, this table. Now we'll come the working rule, okay, how we will find the amplitude or argument of a complex number. Suppose the complex number is this one, z equal to x plus iy. So then first of all we calculate the values of alpha from this one. Alpha here is theta, okay. So tan theta will be your modulus of y by modulus of z, only the positive values. And then we also suppose that amplitude of z is theta. Chalo, chalo, chalo. Then in the first case, okay, table 2.9c, you see the table. ये रहा तुम हमारा टेबल. Okay. Let's compare, right? We have got a table. Now, case 1, okay? Table 2.9c, then pz lies on the first quadrant. So in that case, theta or amplitude z will be your alpha. For case 2, okay, if it lies in the second quadrant, then it will be pi minus alpha. If it is second quadrant, then it will be minus pi plus alpha. Third quadrant, okay, minus pi plus alpha. You note it down in your copy, okay. And if it lies in the fourth quadrant, then it is minus alpha. Tick, tick, tick. Tick. So alpha will be, we find out from this formula, okay. Then for theta, okay, कितना होगा, अगर it depends on first quadrant, तो ये formula याद रखना है, okay. Then our theta will be alpha, ठीक है. Whatever the value of alpha, okay, by using this 10 alpha, whatever we get, that one will be the value of alpha, ठीक है. Theta will be that value of alpha. Then if it lies on the second quadrant, so कभी सेकेंड क्वाड्रेंट में भी मिल सकता है, राइट? It can be more than 90 degree, right? Between 90 and 180 degree. If the value of alpha is between 90 degree and 180 degree, then it will lie in the second quadrant. Now if it is in the second quadrant, then to find out theta, okay, we have to find out, use this formula, pi minus alpha. So इसको अल्फा को 180 से माइनस करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? And again same thing, it's found in here, okay, the position of p is in the third quadrant. Then we have to use this formula to find out the value of theta. So that is why it is called the working rule, ठीक है? माइनस पाई प्लस अल्फा. एंड अगर यहाँ पहुँचा, फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट तक पहुँचा दी, मोर देन 270 डिग्री, तो उसका होगा तुम्हारा माइनस अल्फा. थीटा का वैल्यू होगा कितना? माइनस अल्फा. जितना भी अल्फा निकलेगा उसका नेगेटिव वैल्यू. So this one you note down on your copy. This is important, okay? Working rule. Okay, working rule for finding the amplitude or argument of a complex number. ठीक ठीक. If it is in the first quadrant, then alpha. If it is in the second quadrant, then pi minus alpha. If it is in the third quadrant, that means the value of alpha, if it is in the third quadrant, then theta will be equal to minus pi plus alpha. And if it lies in the fourth quadrant, ठीक है, then the value of theta will be minus alpha. Okay, okay, okay. यहाँ तक समाप्त होता है हम लोगों का कॉन्सेप्ट. अभी शुरू होगा हम लोगों का व्हाट? एक्सरसाइज. वो प्रॉपर्टीज बचा है. Okay, how many properties are there? Property 1, property 2, property 3. Okay, we have got three properties. ठीक है, ठीक है. Then we got exercise. Okay, okay. So now some workout examples. Let's see. Modulus, we need to find the modulus. ये तो किया हुआ है थी पहले भी. Then we need to find the amplitude, argument of jet. ठीक है. तो क्या होगा? फर्स्ट इज 3i. सो ये द कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर इज 0 plus 3i, है ना? So 3i can be written as 0 plus 3i. Then the modulus, okay, it is square root of the real plus imaginary, x square plus y square. So 0 square plus y, our y is 3, 3 square. Root over 9 is what? 3. Then now also the complex number lies on the positive part of the imaginary axis. So the amplitude of jet will be pi by 2. कहाँ लाई किया है ये? इमेजिनरी एक्सिस में लाई किया है. 3i रियल पार्ट नहीं है, है ना? याद है कि नहीं है? याद है कि नहीं है? Where was that? हाँ, ये याद रखना है. दिस A B C D. कहाँ है ये? If it lies on the positive part of the imaginary axis, okay, so its amplitude will be what? Pi by 2 or 90 degree. When the point lies on any of the axis, अगर axis में point lie किया दे, then the amplitude will be using this value. ठीक है? This one also you have to note down on your copy. तो क्या होगा हमारा? हाँ, next is what? Minus 4i. Here also it is on negative part. If it is negative part, then pi or 180 degree. कहाँ है? Negative part minus 90 degree. दी. Where? Wait. this one. If it is on the negative part, then minus pi by 2 or minus 90 degree. The amplitude. ठीक है. Now it comes real, minus 7. That means negative part of the real axis. D. If it is on the negative part of the real axis, then क्या है? If it is a negative part of the real axis, then it is pi or 180 degree. Pi or 180 degree. तो यहाँ देखा हमको pi और 180 degree. In this way, ठीक है? मॉडुलस तो जानते हो. Now we have got two part, both the real and imaginary part. Okay? Then we have to use this formula. Tan theta, then y, modulus of y by modulus of x. है ना? So root 3. So root 3 is what? 60 degree. Tan theta is equal to root 3. So root 3 is what? Wait. Here we have got tan theta as how much? Root 3. So 10 root 3 is how much? 10 60 degree. So 10. So therefore theta will be how much? 60 degree. So that is why we have got here, we have written 60 degree. Okay, theta equal to 60 degree or pi by 3. Pi is how much? 180. 180 divided by 3 is 60. And amplitude of jet is 60 degree. Minus y plus root 3i. So यहाँ भी minus modulus करो. ठीक है. Tan alpha. We have to take the positive part. Same. Alpha is how much? Pi by root 3. So since the complex number lies, अगर नेगेटिव आया तो हमको tan alpha लेना पड़ेगा. Then we have to apply the earlier formula, this one, working rule. ठीक है, यही वाला apply करना पड़ेगा. So since the complex number lies in the second quadrant, pi by root 3, 60 degree, है ना? कहा है? ये है complex number minus and then this is the positive. हम लोगों का क्या है? इस तरह का है, right? Negative आया फिर positive. So something here will be pz. So it lies in what? Where? Second quadrant. अगर second quadrant हुआ तो pi minus alpha. Alpha means हमको pi by 3. So theta, the argument will be pi minus pi by 3. So if you take this will be 3 pi minus pi. 3 pi minus pi is 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 or 120 degree. Pi by 3 का क्या है? 60. 2 टाइम करूँ 120. That one. This is the working rule. हाँ. कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर कहाँ लाई करते ये देखना पड़ेगा. And after that we will find out the theta and alpha relation. So, both are positive, then simply theta. अगर नेगेटिव आ गया then you have to take alpha. ठीक है. Somewhere it is written here, right? ये हुआ. Then first of all we calculate the value of alpha from this one. You can also do for the positive one using this formula. लेकिन आंसर सेम निकलेगा. तो डायरेक्ट थीटा निकलने ले लेने से भी it saves time. Now minus 1 minus I, ये in the third quadrant है ना. ये भी नेगेटिव, y भी नेगेटिव. यह क्या है? ये नेगेटिव, y is negative, x is positive. So here in the third quadrant. So see it lies in the third quadrant. तो हमको क्या मिला? Tan alpha minus minus 1 is what? 45 degree. So pi by 4. So what is the formula? If it is lying in the third quadrant, then minus pi plus alpha. तो यही अप्लाई करेगा होगा. See, minus pi, alpha is what, pi by 4. ठीक है, so minus 4 pi plus pi minus 3 pi by 4. ठीक है, ये होगा पॉजिटिव. The x is positive, the y is negative in the fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant is minus alpha, I think. है ना, ये रहा minus alpha. So 45 degree. So alpha is, we get pi by 4. So it lies in the fourth quadrant. So argument of z will be minus alpha. So iska negative. So you need to remember two things. In which quadrant you have to find out using the complex value, the real part and the negative part, using x and y value. You have to plot in your mind by yourself. Okay. कौन सा कहाँ जाएगा, where it will get plotted. You have to think. पिक्चर में ये लाइन देख लो. X, if both are positive, it will lie on the first quadrant. If x is negative, y is positive, it will lie on the second quadrant. X is negative, y is negative, it will lie on the third quadrant. If x is positive but y is negative, that means the imaginary part is negative, then it will lie on the fourth quadrant. If it is first quadrant, then simply alpha. If it is on the second quadrant, then it is pi minus alpha. Theta, okay, value of theta, finding the argument. If it is in the third quadrant, then minus alpha minus pi plus alpha. And if it is in the fourth quadrant, then it is minus alpha. ये एकदम याद रखना है. Okay, ये लिख लो तुम लोग. Okay, you write this one in your copy. This is to find out the अभी एग्जाम्पल टू पोलर फॉर्म में लिखना है. So polar form is what, that one, r equal to cos theta plus I sin theta, उस फॉर्म में लिखना है. तो पहले r निकालो. ओके, r निकालो, r निकालो, r निकालो. ये आ रहा 2√2. उसके बाद थीटा निकालना है. तो टेन अल्फा, ओके, नेगेटिव है दोनों. टेन अल्फा पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव ले लो. ओके, then negative negative it lies in the fourth quadrant, so it will be minus alpha. Or negative negative है, so in the third quadrant, so minus pi plus alpha, so minus pi plus alpha, so minus 3 pi by 4. ये हो गया हम लोगों का थीटा. So polar form of this one will be r cos theta. Theta is what, minus 3 pi plus 4 by 4. And I sin theta, so theta is what, minus 3 pi plus 4. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. This is your, now will come our properties. Okay, properties of a complex number. Okay, excuse me for a while, huh? Okay, I'm back. So now we will discuss about the properties. Okay, properties होने के बाद then I will leave you for the next video. And between that, if you are able to try, then you can try the exercise. Okay, the one that we have do the example, the polar form, and the finding the modulus as well as the argument or the amplitude. चलो चलो अभी प्रॉपर्टीज क्या है प्रॉपर्टीज में So what is our property 1? So property is related to amplitude or argument of a complex number. So property 1, what is property 1? For a complex number z, amplitude of z conjugate. याद है ना ये conjugate है. So this will be equal to minus amplitude of z, negative of amplitude of z. कैसा है ये है क्या ना, नेगेटिव होगा जज कॉन्जुगेट. कॉन्जुगेट क्या है लगता है भूल गया ना तुम लोग. सो दिस इज x प्लस आई वाई, इट्स कॉन्जुगेट विल बी व्हाट x माइनस आई वाई. तो ये क्या है, x इज पॉजिटिव, y इज नेगेटिव इन दिस केस. हियर बोथ आर पॉजिटिव, so both are positive, then it will lie on the which quadrant, on the first quadrant है ना. It will lie, so ये हम लोगों का p. This is plus, this is negative, this is plus, and come the negative, the y negative. So this is our p prime or p dash d. So this is our, it lies on the fourth quadrant, so first quadrant and fourth quadrant. So देखते हैं. So let x is this, z is this one, x plus iy be a complex number. So let p represents the number on the argand plane. Okay, then theta ये है हमारा p o m. Okay, this represents the amplitude z. Now z bar, okay, conjugate will be x minus iy. This is the conjugate of z, and let this conjugate be represented by p prime on the argand plane. So obviously इसका क्या होगा, p dash om होगा इसका थीटा. Now these two triangle, obviously both are having same distance है ना. those this triangle will be congruent, same position है ना. जितना भी डिस्टेंस होगा, x जितना होगा y जितना होगा सेम ही होगा. So obviously these two will be congruent, so the theta will also be equal. So यहाँ से हमको चाहिए. Okay, so numerically both these two will be equal. Now since क्या है, this forms on the clockwise rotation, since p dash om is formed in the clockwise direction, clockwise rotation, so therefore amplitude of the number is taken as negative. इसका negative होगा है ना. next क्या है. So amplitude of z will be minus theta. Amplitude of both are equal. POM is what, amplitude of z. P dash OM will be इसका negative होगा, so minus theta, and then theta is nothing but your amplitude of z, so minus amplitude of z. So hence proven. Okay. Now come our property 1 is clear, I guess. Now we'll come to our property 2. Property 2. So what is property 2? The amplitude of the product of two complex number. तो दो complex number का amplitude. Okay, two complex number, इसका product. Okay, those two complex numbers, they should multiply. Multiplication of that two complex numbers amplitude is equal to the sum of their amplitudes. जितना भी उनका amplitudes है उसके साथ equal होगा. If one of the complex number amplitude of one is theta 1, another is theta 2, okay, then their amplitude will be कितना है amplitude of theta, है ना, first one complex number plus amplitude of the second complex number. ये देखो. So if the amplitude of the product of two z1 and z2 complex number, then it is equal to the sum of their amplitudes. z1 का amplitude कितना है plus z2 का amplitude कितना है. ओके, यही वाला. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. So theta 1 plus theta 2 होगा. So let the two complex numbers be z1. Okay, this is in a trigonometric form or polar form. r1 cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 2. Okay, first complex number. ठीक है. For the second complex number, r2 amplitude, the distance r2, and cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Then now here amplitude of z1 is theta 1 and amplitude of z2 is theta 2. अभी दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, z1 z2 z1 z2, है ना, इनका एम्पलीट्यूड निकाल दें हम लोगों को. So if you multiply them, then you will get r1 r2 cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 2 into cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. r1 r2 कॉमन है, बाहर निकाल दो. अभी इन दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करो. So first will be cos theta 1 cos theta 2. ठीक है, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट विल बी cos थीटा 1 एंड I sin थीटा 2. अच्छा, ये सेकेंड पार्ट में आएगा. चलो चलो बाद में लिखेंगे. सो I sin थीटा 2, I स्क्वायर माइनस 1. सो sin थीटा 1 sin थीटा 2, ये लिख दिया. देन दिस वन एंड दिस वन. चलो मुझे लिख लेना ही अच्छा होगा दी. By writing somewhere else, okay, that will be better. So z1 z2 ये नहीं है. हाँ, z1 z2 will be what? r1 cos theta. The first is cos theta, the real part is cos theta. So cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1 multiply by r2 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. So r1 r2 multiply कर लो. Then you multiply now cos theta 1 cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 1. Then wait, not like this, not like this, not like this. Cos theta 1 को ही लिखना होगा, है कि नहीं, है कि नहीं. वैसे ठीक ही था दे, खाली I को निकाल देने से अच्छा था. cos theta 1 multiply I sin theta 2 plus I sin theta 1 multiply cos theta 2. फिर आएगा तुम्हारा प्लस I इंटू I स्क्वायर sin theta 1 sin theta 2. ये क्लोज कर दो, यहाँ पे है क्लोज. ओके, यू राइट इट. r1 r2 I स्क्वायर इज व्हाट माइनस. तो अभी ये वाला पोर्शन आएगा. सो cos theta 1 cos theta 2 माइनस I स्क्वायर माइनस हो गया sin theta 1 sin theta 2 sin theta 2. अभी ये दोनों I है तो I कॉमन ले लो एंड बोथ आर पॉजिटिव, सो प्लस I। सो क्या है, पहले साइन को ले लेते हैं, दे साइन थीटा 1 कॉस थीटा 2 प्लस साइन थीटा 2 sin theta 2 cos theta 1 close the bracket. Then this is also one of the formula. Okay, when we study trigonometry in advance, we will get this one, cos a plus b formula. ठीक है, so if it cos a plus b is cos a plus b is cos a cos b minus sin a sin b, cos theta 1 theta 2, so cos theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 1 sin theta 2, ठीक है, तो from there it comes this formula. So this is nothing but your our cos with theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I, this is also same sin theta 1 plus theta 2, ये भी formula है. Okay, you refer to trigonometric portion of our advanced mathematics, you will get this formula. Oh wait, let me write here, sin theta 1 plus theta 2 and one is what, cos theta 1 plus theta 2, and their equal is this one. For sine it is sin theta 1 plus sin theta cos theta 2 sin theta 2 plus cos theta 1, इसका opposite होता है, यहाँ पे sin sin cos cos सेम रहता है. Okay, cos minus sin, here sin cos theta 1 theta 2 theta 2 theta 1. In this way you have to remember, you can remember 1 2 2 1. Okay, and this one is 1 2 cos cos theta 1 cos theta 1 cos theta 2 sin theta 1 sin theta 2. ठीक है, ठीक है. So यहाँ पे एंगल क्या हो गया हमको, so this is like the form what, r cos theta plus I sin theta. Our r is what, r1 r2, and our cos theta is what, theta 1 plus theta 2, है ना. So in the next line, okay, you see therefore amplitude of z1 z2 is theta 1 plus theta 2, and theta 1 plus theta 1 is nothing but the amplitude of what, first complex number z1. So here in this you see, in the next line you see on the left side amplitude of z1 z2 is theta 1 is nothing but amplitude of z1, and theta 2 is nothing but amplitude of z2. Hence proof. ठीक ठीक ठीक, समझ में आया, समझ में आया, you understood? Okay, shall we go to the next property, the last of the property? Okay, so the amplitude of the quotient, यहाँ पे क्या है, quotient मीन्स डिवाइड आएगा, है ना. The amplitude of the quotient of two complex number, ये क्या है, product. Okay, the property 2 is what, product of two complex number. यहाँ क्या है, quotient. Okay, divide आएगा, division of two complex number is equal to the difference of their amplitudes. यहाँ पे क्या आया है, theta 1 plus theta 2, this is sum of their amplitude. डिवीजन में क्या आएगा, difference of the amplitudes. Clear? So let's come to our next ये क्या हो गया, चलो write this on your notebook. Okay, so amplitude of क्या है, z1 by z2, quotient दे will be amplitude of z1 minus amplitude of z2, difference क्या आएगा देखते ही. So in a similar way, okay, like property 2 डिवाइड कर दो. Z1 Z2 निकालो पहले. यहाँ क्या है? एम्पलीट्यूड ऑफ Z1 ये लिख लो. Okay, let the two complex number be Z1 equal to R cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1. Z2 will be R2 sin cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Amplitude of Z1 will be theta 1, amplitude of Z2 will be theta 2. यहाँ तक लिखो. उसके बाद प्रोसीड करो डिवाइड Z1 by Z2. कॉन्जुगेट लेना पड़ेगा अभी यहाँ पे, है ना. सो कॉन्जुगेट ले लिया. cos थीटा 2 प्लस I sin थीटा 2 माइनस sin थीटा 2. सो cos स्क्वायर थीटा माइनस आएगा. आर आई है. आई स्क्वायर क्या है? माइनस. सो माइनस माइनस विल बिकम प्लस. सो साइन स्क्वायर थीटा. ठीक है. ए प्लस बी ए माइनस बी ए स्क्वायर माइनस बी स्क्वायर ए स्क्वायर कॉस स्क्वायर थीटा माइनस आई स्क्वायर है. ठीक है. तो आई स्क्वायर क्या है? माइनस. सो माइनस माइनस बिकम प्लस. आई थिंक यू अंडरस्टूड हियर. सो इट बिकम प्लस. सो साइन स्क्वायर थीटा 2. R1 by R2 कॉमन है. अभी ऊपर में क्या होगा? माइनस करो. अभी मल्टीप्लाई करो. ओके. कॉस थीटा 1 कॉस थीटा 2. ठीक है. सेम दिस वन. दिस इज माइनस. सो प्लस इंटू माइनस माइनस. I square is what? Minus. So minus minus become plus. So sin theta 1 sin theta 2. ठीक है. Like same earlier one. Okay. Again you take the common I. So sin theta 1 cos theta 2 sin theta 2 cos theta 1, and they will be nothing but your, यहाँ पे प्लस आ गया तो it will here it will be minus. You see that you check the formula. Okay, on trigonometry you will get a theta 1 minus theta 2 or a cos a minus b cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. और माइनस है ना, तो cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. ठीक है. Then now here also we got minus. So for sin it is minus minus, but for cos if it is minus then the answer will be plus. उसके opposite रहता है cos में. ठीक है. sin में अगर नेगेटिव हुआ तो here also in the expansion also नेगेटिव आएगा. So sin theta cos theta cos sin theta 1 cos theta 2 minus sin theta 2 cos theta 1. So this is nothing but your sin theta 1 minus theta 2. And then they are nothing but your, it is in the form of r cos theta plus I sin theta and theta. So theta is here, theta minus theta 2. So amplitude of Z1 Z2, amplitude of this complex number is theta 1 minus theta 2, and theta 1 is nothing but amplitude of Z, theta 2 is nothing but amplitude of Z2. So hence proof. ठीक है. ठीक बा ठीक बा ठीक बा ठीक है ठीक है. ओके. सो एक बार लिखो अपनी कॉपी में, and after that if you have any doubt, okay, I am again free for discussion. So today is Saturday. Okay, you complete it by tonight, and tomorrow, okay, we can discuss. You inform me tomorrow morning, then we will be able to discuss tomorrow. Okay, we can do live also. And if you have got time, then okay, you can try out these examples, okay, using the properties. Then this is your exercise 2.4. Amplitude we have already done. Polar form we have already done. Okay, so whatever you can do, you can try. You can try. So I'm leaving you today in this class up to this much. Okay, so let's see you in the next class. Keep practicing. Okay, then thank you. Bye bye. Ending the session now. Take care.